personally, until my community at large is doing well, me doing well as an individual just doesn't make me sleep well at night. Like, I want to see my community as a collective doing better.
Okay, see, and I feel like that's a part of the quote unquote black tax, and that's a real problem because you, no matter what, can control your destiny. You can't control what the other black women in Louisiana or Dallas or Atlanta or whatever, you can't control what they do, but you're allowing their progress to affect your mental, like your mental state. Because if they're not doing good and they're on food stamps and they're all, and but you working hard, you driving a nice car, you living in a great house, you got a great life, you're traveling, you're doing whatever, you got financial freedom. Your life is affected by their lack of execution, no matter if it's their fault or not. So I feel like that's a huge problem, and it's just a part of, again, it's a part of the black tax. It's like this is something that only black people really go through.
But it's not, though, because when people get treated really well in a country, it's because it's a more homogenous society. If you go to the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, these are some of the top countries to live in on the planet, right?
Right.
They have amazing benefits. They live good. Everybody's middle class or higher. The reason is because it's a homogeneous society. Everybody there is white, right? So they don't have to worry about people of color benefiting from this program or that program. Social programs and worrying about the collective and making sure that everyone was good was something that Americans did all the way until the 1960s. That's why they want to make America great again. So when you go to homogeneous societies like Japan, everybody's doing well because everybody's of the same ethnic group. When you have a country like America where you have all these different diverse ethnic groups, but only one ethnic group has been in charge for 400 years, they're stepping on the necks of other ethnic groups. And that doesn't just happen in America. It happens in Africa, too. You have countries in Africa where you've got 9 ethnic groups in the country, right? But only one ethnic group has been in charge the
Right.
entire time. So what are they doing? They're stepping on the necks of the other one. And that's beyond race, right?
Right.
That's 2 black African tribes, but only one gets the whole government is just these people.
Right, right,
And
right.
so they treat everybody else like second-class citizens. So when you have homogenous societies where everybody is the same thing, they do actually care and they are actually concerned that everybody is living good. And so why can't we be like that? Why is that like? Why does that have to be survivor's remorse or a tax or a deficit or something that's
Well,
looked
because
at as
it
a
is,
negative?
because like as a person who's made it out of the one of the worst, if not the worst neighborhood in America, the east side of Detroit, went to the worst schools. Like a lot of my friends, like one of my friends, he went to a private school. He had a great education, whatever. We always laugh about it. And like I don't have friends that I can call that could help me with my business or whatever. They all locked up. They all, like, these are people that I'm saying like that I grew up with. Like my network of people that I grew up with, they're either locked up or they're just sitting around the neighborhood. They don't have skills. So even though we're friends, I don't have nothing in common with them other than that I knew you from 25 years ago. That's the only thing I have in common with you. And like I guess what I'm getting at is I had to outgrow allowing their their decisions to impact me mentally because I always wanted to be quote unquote humble and like I got a nice car or I got a nice watch or I got this, but damn, if I post this on Instagram, like how my cousins gonna think that struggling trying to eat noodles, like how they gonna feel? And I always like felt that weight, and like over the last year or so, like I've been lifting that weight off my shoulders, and I'm just like, I'm going to make sure I'm okay. My family, my immediate family, the people that I love is okay. I'm not allowing my friend who, you know, decided to rob the store at the corner store and now he did 6 years and he got out and he have no skills. He can't do anything. He walking around the neighborhood strung out. I'm not allowing him to mess with my mental and make me feel guilty about having a nice car or a nice watch or a nice, like, I'm not doing that no more. And I feel like there's so many people in corporate. There's so many people running businesses that are successful, that are smart, and they don't feel good about their life because of what somebody else did or did not do. And that's what I mean by like it's just mentally taxing, and that's like the black tax. Like that's the problem, is because everything I do good is attributed to me, But everything bad that happens in the community is contributed to the whole. It's a reflection of the whole community.
Yeah.
Somebody, you go to the gas station, it's 10 people outside, 10 black men outside. Now you like, "Man, I can't trust black men. I'm scared of them." Now you scared of black men. You know, this is how a lot of races look at it, and it's like, unfortunately, if I don't put on a suit or if I don't dress a certain way or if I'm not articulate, a lot of people look at me the exact same way they would look at the guy at the gas station if we're next to each other, and we're complete opposite. I have
Yeah.
more in common with everybody I went to college with versus the guy that's at the gas station. But if we're not dressed apart, or if I'm not dressed apart, I get put on the same pedestal as that person.
But
And
even dressing the part doesn't help. They were hanging us from trees with ties hanging and slacks. You know what I
but
mean?
that-
So that's more their problem
it
than
helps.
it ours. But I understand what you're saying. Like, but for me personally, I'm not losing sleep over the people who aren't ambitious and don't want to do anything. For me, I'm more trying to help the people who have a lack of resources, who don't have a mentor, who have the brains, who have the ambition to do something, and
I
they
like
just
that.
need some guidance.
I like
so for
that.
me, I'm here to help them. I'm not here to convince anybody who doesn't want to do something positive that they should do something positive. I think that's an upward battle. But I think that there's enough people out here who want to be mentored, who do have the motivation, and they lack the resources. So those are, for me, who I try to like target, help, lead by example, whatever
but
resources.
aren't you leaving your community behind? What about the people who? But I'm just playing the
'cause
devil's advocate
you
because
can leave
this
a
is
horse
why.
to water, but you can't make them drink. So if I have somebody over here who wants help, right, and I have somebody over here who doesn't want to help, I'm not going to spend an hour convincing you that you should get help. I'm going to go ahead and help this person. And I think that if enough people who want the help get help, then what will happen is that their narrative will change, and then people will become covetous over the right things. If we start attributing our success to hard work, what happens too in our community is that we want to go from ashy to classy. So we don't want to tell anybody about the struggle, right? Last year I was broke. This year I'm balling. What was the change?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about what the change was. Just know that I'm balling.
Right.
So it's like people don't want to say, hey, you know what? I make $250,000 a year and I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm actually a software engineer. I actually went to school for 4 years, and then I went to this boot camp and I got this certification. I self-studied every night for a year and a half. And now I'm a software engineer. I make $250,000, and I'm attributing it to hard work and education. We don't even attribute. Every time we see somebody with a lot of money, they doing something that seems like it's lavish or fun, or not attributing it to hard work, like you said.
Yeah, and I don't think it helps the black community or it helps anybody when you put the entire community based off of what this one person does or this one person's success. Or people say, well, what is Jay-Z donating to the black community? What has he done for the black community? And it's like, well, why does he have to do anything for the black community?
Why
He's
doesn't
done
he?
things for the people in his reference group, and he's made a lot of people money.
But black people made him rich. Why shouldn't he do something for us? He doesn't have to, but why should he not want to?
But my point is, what is doing something for the community? Because he got a scholarship fund.
He does. Jay-Z does a lot. Jay-Z and
I know, I'm just using him as an example
Jay-Z
because
and
he's
his wife
like,
quietly do actually a lot.
but it's never enough.
You think so?
I think so. Beyonce donated $2 million to the LA fire. They say you a billionaire. Why you ain't donate more?
Yeah, but that's because the average person doesn't even understand money and how money works.
Or you donate, they say you only doing that for a tax write-off.
And that might be true.
But so I can't win. So I'm gonna just take my money. And
You're rich, you know.
I'm gonna just take my money. I'm gonna just take my money and just go buy a yacht. I'm not donating to nothing then, because I don't even get the pat on the back when I donate $1 million.
I feel you, James.
Like, why would somebody even do that? So I just feel like it hurts our community when we try to think as a collective, because nothing you do is ever good enough.